people. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Football is back. Ten Hag is going to have a live press conference. Welcome to MUFC Realist TV, the channel where we're going to cover Ten Hag's press conference word by word, live. Sit back, have a drink on your coffee, and we will be back in 10 seconds.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Dankjewel. I feel welcome. Dit is my home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
We are so back here in the new studio. Joining me by Mark Nurse, the one and only, the trooper that gives you the news in the morning. How are you doing, Mark, today?
I'm good. I'm good. How is the VR room doing, guys? Is everyone okay? Ready and excited for tomorrow? Manchester
Yeah,
United.
lots of hearts going here up in the air. You know what I mean? It's our stars and confetti. Woohoo! We are playing football, people. That's it. Enough of this takeover gash and injury news and all that stuff. You know what I know. But today, Mark, is going to be a fantastic day because we're going to hear who's injured, who is available, and hopefully the stenographers, they're going to ask the right questions, right?
Exactly. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. And it's interesting because I can't wait. I hope there's really good, interesting questions about football, about the various players coming back from injury, who he's thinking about is in form, is
Yeah.
possibly going to start. I
Is it
don't
going
want
to
to
drop
hear too.
Rashford?
I hope, and I think it's best for the team. Like I know a lot of people might think it's because I don't like Rashford, but when I look at Alex Ferguson's team, how many players could you say were undroppable every week?
Oh, I know one. The Rock of Gibraltar, that horse. That was undroppable.
Yeah, but at the same time, when Alex Ferguson played this week, some guys started. Even Beckham scrubbed
Yeah,
the bench, and he scored a goal the week before. Same thing with Ronaldo. It's
yeah.
just about having a squad. You know what I mean?
It is squad depth and squad rotation. Um, VR room, you are lovely as per usual. We can see you here in the VR room. Jamie Wayne, Luan France. Comment ça va, Luan? Good morning, happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF as well. Raining here in Toronto. Well, Luan, where I'm sitting, it's so cold. You know, you get that wind that penetrates to your bone, Mark. You know that feeling, right? The Scarborough wind, you know what I mean? And it's kind of the weather is shifting to winter, almost like autumn, winter, and it's like dark, getting dark. I'm sitting in Sweden at the moment. You are in Düsseldorf, right?
Yeah. And it's getting really dark. It's raining, it's cold. I mean, it's not too bad. For me, I kind of enjoy it because I got thick skin, so it's
Oh, you're
cool.
from Trini, right? The islands of the tropicals, right? So it's all
Yeah.
good.
It's all good. It's all good. It's a good change for me. Like it's always hot, humid, sticky.
Yeah,
Now it's like it was warm, now it's getting a little cold. It's not too bad.
yeah. Big up to all of you that made it to the stream. Jamie Wayne is here. George Bestie, congratulations for your daughter yesterday as well. We got the news. May he treat her well, like the princess she is. Giving away your daughter is a big thing, right? Now, today we are joined here with Ten Hag's press conference is going to start approximately in about 10 minutes if they are on time. Jonathan Borg is here. Hi, M&M. We are the M&Ms. Really?
Exactly.
Are we the M&Ms? That's funny. Oh, thank you. That's it. We are the M&Ms. We love each other. Stephanie Griffith, glad you are on the mend, Jamie. Meds or mend?
Mend.
Mend.
He wasn't feeling well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen, there's a nasty flu going out, starting with the letter C, which you're not allowed to say on YouTube, but that's back again. What I heard in UK, at least, there's a lot of people, a lot of fellow content creators that's down with the flu. 100% shocking. I thought we were over, but please be careful out there as well. Laurent France, Stephanie Griffith, Miss uh, entering chair. I cannot see. I didn't bring my glasses on anyway. Um, Jonathan Borg, big up NMMs, 100%. How many are we streaming in today? Entering chair. What did you say
It
there?
will be more fun if Man United be defeated tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight? It's Friday, guy. What are you talking about?
Tonight?
Who's
Well,
playing?
depends on where. It depends on where this person is sitting.
Probably.
Mr. Chair,
Probably.
Mrs. Chair or Chair, like, let us know in the chat where you are from as well. Like, Eva Bosic is all the way from Australia saying the unspecified virus, unknown origins. Shh. A lot of my friends has been blocked from YouTube. They've just been taken down for because they're speaking of a certain topic, right? If this conflict right now that's going on down there, which you're not allowed to say, that's very dangerous because you instantly get blocked. Or if you're talking about the C virus,
Hmm.
just use your imagination. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here about talking about Manchester United and the football. Chaos, confusion, carnage, flu caused by the Glazers. That is another virus. 18 years. We haven't found the cure, Steph. What's going on? Jesus. Sad as it is. Anyway, so let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods as well. And don't forget to smash a like when you are at it as well. It's free. And by doing so, you get Manchester United vibes because we are playing Saturday.
Awesome.
My heart is racing. Am I nervous? Are you? Let us know. I'm not. I'm not nervous. I'm more excited. It's been 2 weeks, Mark, since we haven't kicked a ball, and I call it the reset, the great reset button in a way, because that dire form that we had. All it takes is about 2 weeks away from your team, away from your environment, and you kick on. You know, and
Yeah.
barring that, we had that last Scotty McTominay madness, 6 minutes when he went on a scoring spree, saved our asses. I mean, I'm sure that that feeling is positive in the locker room now at the moment.
Yeah.
Although,
It's,
although, although, Mark, the British media don't want us to be up there. They try to leak out stories, Jadon Sancho and all that stuff again and again. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do get the Jadon Sancho question today.
obvious. It's coming. I
It's
was
coming.
about to say I was hoping we don't hear anything about Jaden Sancho because let's face it, guys, he's not in the team, right? And as much as we all like Sancho, because I'm a huge Sancho fan,
Oh, me
I
too.
don't know if anyone wonders, but Sancho has a bit of Trini in him, and it's
I
one
thought
of the
he was
few
Trinian.
Trini. Yeah, he is. So it's like he represent England, so it's like we still support him, and it's huge for us to have another Trinidadian playing for Manchester United. After
Mm,
Dwight York, so we all hope for the best for him, and we want the best for him. But like sometimes, you gotta roll with the punches. Adversity
yeah.
comes in different shapes and forms, and I understand he's having his it might be a thing with his mental health, and I respect that, and I hope that we can do something to help him with that. But at the same time, it's like not everything that happens I'm gonna say, maybe it's his mental health being triggered. Sometimes a player or as a human, you gotta stand up against adversity and do your
Yeah.
best through difficult times.
Not true. I mean, I believe that his parents are from Trinidad and Tobago, right? And he
Hmm.
was born and raised in the UK. Yeah. I mean, as a Trini, like you understand the cultural thing, but would you understand what he's doing right now? It's not really like a Trini thing to do. Like you guys are very humble, one love, one heart, you know,
Yeah,
kind of
but
thing.
we're also a bit, arrogant at the same time, and lack a little bit of discipline sometimes. We like to have our own way. We are like strong-minded individuals. So like, in one sense, I could understand him saying, I don't like this, but at the other hand, I do, I kind of hold it against him because he could have been like, okay, you know what, I don't like this, but here what, I'm gonna prove you wrong in front of everyone,
Mm.
right? I'm gonna let my shoes, my
There's something.
boots do the talking.
There's
So.
something that doesn't really add up. Like, and I met a lot of islander people in my life, like from Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, Dominican Republic. When you speak about mental health or depression, they just laugh at you. So what? They go like, "What are you talking about? That doesn't exist," because they are so strong-minded. Like, just work
Exactly.
harder than the last time. That's the mentality. So, if he's got from Trinidad roots, I mean, I would surprise that he has, just what we say, work harder than the last time. That's the
Yeah.
thing. All you need to do is just apologize. Apologize.
It's not that big of a deal in my opinion. I feel like it's so easy for him to just be like, yo, here what? I'll take one for the team. I'll take one for myself and be
Yeah.
humble about it. And then go on the field, score some goals, get assists, and look at the manager and be like, even if in your celebrations you look at the manager and be like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? This is the kind of thing you want to see from players.
Yeah, you want to play with the heart. That's the thing. Like, we saw Casemiro first year. Like, when he scored, we saw when the celebrations from Anthony Dos Santos when he scores, it was all passion, heart. I never forget. It is forever printed in my Polaroid memory. That header from Casemiro when he had that warrior face. You can, he's got a big head though. He's got a big baby head. You can't deny it. He looks like he's chubby, but when he takes off his shirt, he's got a six pack and everything. It's just his
Exactly.
face, like baby face. But when he did that roar, if you remember that one, when he scored the decider, like, wow, I never forget that. That's
Yeah,
that's
like he
place for
jumped in the
warrior.
crowd. The crowd hugged him. It was like one of the biggest moments in the fan base last season. And I feel like,
Yeah,
we need this kind of mentality. And like I, for one, might be contrary to what I'm saying. I hope that he apologizes and comes back to the team because I still think he's very important and key, and he could be. He's got all the talent in the world and all the ability. He's shown it at Dortmund. You know what I mean? He's having a hard time. Sometimes these things happen
apologize,
with
apologize,
players.
Jaden.
Yeah,
Jaden,
you know
if
what I
you're listening,
mean? We
listen to
love
your
you,
fellow
Jaden.
German. We love you.
Apologize, bro. Score some goals for us. Score some goals for yourself.
We don't like you. We just love you. Okay, just come back, apologize. That's it.
Yeah,
That's the right way to path in life to do is to apologize. Put your hand up to say, I will never win. I will not be stubborn. Just apologize. Go to your teammates right now. Like, he's sitting in the doghouse. They're bringing him, according to the leaks, you know, cantina lunch in a plastic container with a plastic lid brought to him. He's not allowed to talk to the youngsters because they think he's gonna be a bad influence. This guy sounds like he's Hannibal Lecter, like, locked in a cage.
yeah, I don't like how the media is painting him right now. Like,
And
I think it's really unfair. Like, at the end of the day, we all know he may have made a mistake. We may not agree with it, right? But at the end of the day, there's no reason to say we're going to go back 4 years and talk about him having a moment of petulance. And what is petulance? You know what I mean? Like, does anyone actually think a football player is like the nicest guy, running into to sliding tackles and bumping into people and stuff, and they're smiling and happy? Like, you gotta have some form of grit in you. You gotta have some form of aggression. You know what I
mm,
mean? So it's like we can't always expect them to be like these docile, super humble, nice people, and everything is all smiles and they're just always understanding. I mean, they're human after all. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Everyone
true.
has their certain way of thinking
Yeah, but
and
on
their belief in
football,
themselves.
on the pitch, the different animals, like, this is where the adrenaline kicks in. This is where the warriors comes in. But off the pitch, often you see some footballers being very humble and, hardly outspoken. Like Jaden is kind of a little bit withdrawn as well, but cocky in a way, like, Ivo Bosic, big up, mate. Never know what the team will play, what formation, what tactics. I'm nervous, loyal. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's. Ivo, I agree with you, mate. It's going to be interesting because it's been 2 weeks off there, and surely, like, Ten Hag had time to reflect and think and plan and tactic, ahead of the season. I mean, we are sitting what 5, 7 points away from top four now. From
Yeah. 8 points
eight
actually
points
of the
from the
top.
first spot. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not that bad, right? It's not huge gap, right? 2 games, win it, bum, close the gap, right?
Yeah.
Stephanie Griffith, Jamie Wayne, what's he saying? Is super Steph. Thank you for asking. Everything is good. Main man Mano, yes, could be our savior this season. Yes, 100%. But we shouldn't put a lot of faith in the young man like Garnacho, but Mano. But this is the United way as well. Bring out the youth,
Yeah.
the DNA. Think we're about to start now the press conference, mate. It
Yeah.
hasn't really.
It's
They're
about.
always slow.
Yeah, yeah, they're still doing through their little intro things and stuff. So as soon as it comes up, I'll pop it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
just play it
a
on the
lot of.
microphone, not on live, because we get done by copyright. There was sewer asses, mate. So
Yeah,
what we do here, like, we listen to the press conference live, and we will analyze it word by word and pick up what the journalists are saying. Hopefully, there was this Ada Chong, the Chinese journalist. She was in there last time. She asked some really good questions. Yeah,
it's about to begin.
it's about to begin. Yeah, you got it.
welcome to the Managers Press conference show from a very wet and windy Carrington. Now we get ready to face Sheffield United, and manager Erik Ten Hag has been facing the media.
Erik, first of all, there's been a lot of talk during the break about potential investment from Jim Ratcliffe. Are you aware of anything? Have you been told anything about what's happening?
Oh, God.
No.
Nope.
So I'm not involved in this. Others in the clubs are dealing with this. I am focusing on my team. I'm focusing on the coming block, and I'm focusing on most important, most priority next game. It's all about that.
Someone who presumably is not going to be involved is Jadon Sancho. There's a lot of talk about him as well. Is there any change to his situation as far as you're concerned?
Same stenographers.
You went into the international break on the back of a pretty memorable ending to a game that looked as though it wasn't going to turn out very well. Can you use that last couple of minutes against Brentford to almost restart your season?
That's a good one.
You can't restart, but what you can do is, what you see is there is a strong dressing room, and they are aligned. They are on one page, and they are so determined and willing to win games. That is what we have seen in the last couple of minutes, and we invest a lot in the game, and in the end, we beat them because opponent they were beaten, and they physical we were very strong, and we kept going. So mentally we were very strong, and of course that's good spirit.
Erik, there's been a lot of criticism and noise around Andre Onana and his performances. You know what a strong personality is.
Ready.
I just want to know, how's he been dealing with everything that's been happening, and how are you helping him through it?
No, he knows. We know he will do much better, and as every player who's coming into the Premier League, you need an integration period. But he has to step up. But so also big United keepers like Peter Schmeichel, like David De Gea, also they started also not too good. And I think for Andre is that good to know, but a little bit from the history. But we live now. We live in the future, and he has to make his future by giving that better performances. And he will do, I'm sure. He already showed that so many times in big clubs like Barcelona. When he was young, Ajax, Inter Milan.
Yeah.
He was in semi-final Champions League. He was in the final Champions League. He's a great player, and I'm sure he will give us performance. And I'm sure we will have a lot of joy of him.
Harry Maguire is still the subject of booze and abuse. As a manager, how hard is that for you to take?
I haven't heard it, not in England, not last game in us. I think everyone, all the fans were supportive for us in the game against Brentford and also the games before. I think we have a strong boundary with our fans, and so I don't think Harry is booed, and he doesn't also deserve it because his performance against Brentford was very good, and also I think for England was in particular was a very good performance. Yeah.
Sheffield United may sit bottom of the Premier League table, but does a side who are so desperate for 3 points, does that make them even more dangerous tomorrow?
Good football question.
Every game in the Premier League is difficult, and you have seen, if you see their results, like against City, against Spurs, and there were very narrow wins from both. So if you don't play your best football, you can have a problem. So it's up to us.
United are currently fourth from bottom in the league when it comes to your away record. Is there anything that you can put that down to specifically, or how do you go about rectifying that?
We won our last game away, so finally it's not about that. And so you can't figure out to the past. And so can also say we were last year third in the league. We won a cup. We were in another final, but that was the past, right? We live in the future. And so we have to change
live in the future.
And
look forward.
We have to take control of the future.
Hi, Erik. in terms of Victor Lindelof, I just wondered how he was after the situation he experienced earlier in the week, and is he okay to be involved this weekend?
A terrible situation, and if you
Yeah,
really sad for the victims,
for Sweden.
all the relatives, family, friends from victims there in Brussels. It's crazy world, and but of course, Victor, they had a problem. They it's a bad experience. As Swedish national team, he was the captain, so also he had to stay in front and give statements, and but he dealt well with it. And of course, he's exhausted after this experience because also he didn't sleep overnight. Return, but yesterday he was back in training. He was yeah, he dealt with the situation. Our thoughts once again were with Victor, and Victor we were with the victims' relatives and the victims. But we're looking
Horrible.
forward to the game, and Victor has energy and is ready to play this game.
Last question in session. Yeah.
Hi, Eric. So Bruno Fernandes has once again shown for Portugal during the European qualifiers, which has revitalized discussion about him being a little bit lost at United lately. As many seeing him being one of the best number 10 around, as has often been played on right wing in the last few games. Would it be an option for you to swap the position of him or and probably Mason Mount?
Oh, good question.
Mount to the right and
Very good question.
Bruno in the middle.
So I think as a squad, in periods in the season you have to deal with certain situations like injuries, and we didn't have a left fullback, we didn't have a right wing in the last couple of games. Then you have to find solutions, and Bruno is a very good right winger as well. But of course, he's playing that position in his way, and he has his freedom there. He's there playing not typical as a right winger, but more coming inside, playing in the 10 role. So coming in situations where he can give key passes, final passes, score a goal.
All right.
That is always you want to use a player like Bruno Fernandes, because we know that he's a player probably creates one of the most
What about
chances
Maino?
in all the games, international.
There'll be more questions
I
coming,
think
right?
in the
Second
States, he is one of the players who creates the most chances in the Premier League. So you always want to bring him in a position where he's at his best because it will contribute to the team himself.
Yes, so great to hear from the manager there. But we are getting ready to face Sheffield United. Make sure you tune into Matchday Live from 5 to 7 for all the best build-up from Bramall Lane.
That was short and sweet, but I believe it's going to be a second embargo question as well coming out as well. There was like 10 minutes. Some mixed bag of questions. You can tell who is the real sports journalist in there that's really interested in the game, and you can tell who is the usual suspects, what we call the gravy train stenographers that's only there to get the scoop of what's going on with Sancho and talk about the takeover. Sergio Ratcliffe had nothing to do with the game in hand, which is absolutely disgusting, according to my opinion. Not going to mention names. But if you're going to waste fans like, 10, 15 minutes for watching this, at least ask about, team news, how he's going to play. I don't know. What did you take from this? I saw Samuel Stone Ogden was instantly asking about how he's going to work with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And if he can't not tell you. This is NDA, stupid, right? And again, what we predicted, Jadon Sancho. Jesus, you've been given one question in this press conference to ask about. Why are you asking about something that's not related to the football game? Smart.
Exactly. It makes no sense to me. Like, I really enjoyed the question asked about Bruno Fernandes
Yeah.
and Mason Mount, and
Yeah,
if we
the
would
swap.
be willing to swap Mason Mount to the right wing
Who was
role and
that?
Bruno
She
at the
sounded like an
10.
Irish lady.
Yeah, whoever that was, that has an amazing idea. Amazing question, and I
It's
love
a
that
Mary from
question.
the
And
She Devils.
exactly. And what he said, I could kind of understand what he said. I might disagree with the general outlook on his answer, but I kind of agree. Bruno Fernandes plays right midfield for Portugal, right? So in a sense, he's not too far off a position he's used to playing. But he doesn't play the right wing the atypical right wing way.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So he cuts in and he plays more in a 10 role still.
yeah,
So I
right
think
sided.
maybe, it might be something that he probably didn't think of, and she might now have just given him an idea
Yeah,
to
planted the
swap
seed.
Mason Mount and put him on the wing, who is always and usually a bit better player when he was at Chelsea off the wing. So
Yeah,
it was a great question. I like that
yeah.
part.
Because we always said that Bruno and Mason don't want to work together, especially Mason Mount on the left. And that's a disaster. Simon Stone was a wasted question. What a waste of question. And Simon Stone was the one that was asking about Sheikh Yassim, and there's an NDA in place. So basically, are you there for talk about football, or are you there to fish about the takeover stories? Mark Ogden was also asking the question regarding one player is obviously not going to start. Well, if you know it's obviously not going to start, why are you asking the question? Jadon Sancho.
Exactly. I don't know why. Like now, and it's a good thing we were mentioning before, because it's like at the end of the day, no matter how you feel about Sancho as a player or as a person, it's unnecessary. He's already dealing with the situation in what way. We already know what needs to
Mm,
transpire for it to move forward in either left or right direction,
okay.
whichever side you're on. So at the end of the day, I think it's a waste of time. You know what I mean?
And then you had Melissa already, which she was more asked about the mental state of players, which is kind of cool. I like Melissa; she's always cool. She asked about very good questions of Onana, and he gave a very good explanation. Like he's apparently like going under through the pressure, but mentally strong he is. He came through the ranks of Barcelona academy. Gave this story like and he was the semi-final goalkeeper or final goalkeeper in the Champions League last season as well. So hey, whatever it is, a lot of pressure. You have a wrong foot, wrong start of a game, confidence drops, and hopefully, like he'll be back because there is a keeper in him, right? There is a shot stopper in him. He's great off the ball. On the other hand, he hasn't had the sort of consistent partnership in front of him to protect him, right? Mm.
And it's like, I think, like I was saying, he needs time. Whether or not we think he's a great shot stopper or whatever we think about him, he needs time to learn the players around him, get a working relationship with these players, and understand them. So he knows how to react based on his experience of what they might do. So
Yeah,
it's a thing that works both ways. They have to trust him. He has to trust the defenders. Defenders have to work with him. He has to work with the defenders, and that's the
yeah.
only way it's going to solve the problem.
But you're the new kid in the block, so you got to earn your respect within the squad as well. But he
As
tried that in the preseason. He gave little bollocks to Maguire, in the preseason tour in US, and that wasn't really popular, right? So, anyway, I think he's still finding his feet. But valid question also regarding there was Onana and there was Maguire, and of course Maguire is going to come up because fair play. Like Maguire's been doing well with England international. He's been doing good as soon as he came on as a substitute. Um, Nothing about Varane, nothing about the injuries whatsoever. I was more expecting to hear more about Kobe Maino and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Anything else
was.
that I keep hearing was the good questions at the very end. I don't know who the gentleman was, but he was asking good question about Sheffield, being at the bottom of the team, and he gave a good answer to say every team in the Premier League is a dangerous team, right? Never underestimate your opponent, right?
Yeah, and that's a fact. Like I think, both on on the latter question side and on Ten Hag's part, he did a great job in answering the questions. I think it quelled some of my curiosity based on what I was thinking.
Mm,
I always seem to think that he's a serious manager, right? So I don't think he underestimates teams, but sometimes I think our players might be at fault for underestimating teams as
yeah,
well. So, and as much as we could say, well, Pep coaches these players, Pep had Grealish on the bench for an entire season. No one talks about that.
no,
So when Grealish was forced to learn, he had no choice. He wasn't playing any football for a whole season. He had to learn the way, and until he showed that, he wasn't
mm,
getting no game time. So it's either put up or put out. So Ken Hag can't do that with the type of players we have. Some of them, they're mentally weak, and if he treats them harshly, it works negatively rather than positively. So we have to try and bear with him and understand that as much as we would like to do these things, or we would like to see him do those things, sometimes it's just not available, because at the end of the day, we are looking at it from the outside. We don't see these players in training. We don't see what's happening other than just some pictures, or some of us who are lucky enough to be in training. So I think it's something to think about. And at the end of the day, the season is young. There are 30 games left in the Premier League alone. And support the team, because a string of good performances could see our fortune change. And I'd say it's too early to write us off.
I really enjoy what you were saying there. Yeah, I mean, my personal experience is too early to write it off. If you look at the table, we are what 7 points, 8 points away from the leaders, which is Spurs at the moment. I don't believe Spurs is going to be there. Like the table is false at the moment. It is now basically where you have the window of opportunity, where you sort of dusted up positivity. It's now we have to win every single game. Almost go for a run to Christmas, right? Copenhagen as well on Tuesday. Sheffield
Hmm.
should win 100%. We should. But as you said, like, we're playing away, and we know our away form can be a little bit dodgy. But he had 2 weeks to prepare, and those that didn't go for international break, they were playing like, they were playing behind closed doors. They were training, getting fed. So I do expect a little bit of rotation, Mark, because we're going to focus on the Champions League. The Champions League against Copenhagen is a must-win. It's a must-win 3 points. So I would see a little bit of rotation going to Sheffield. They're probably going to park the bus as they do. What's your general thoughts and feeling around that?
Well, I would like to see a lot of rotation tomorrow in particular. I think we could rest Bruno, rest Rashford, rest a few other players, and, like, maybe start Amrabat in the middle, give him midfield with Kobe Menu and maybe Mason Mount. I think that would be a good thing. And in the second half, maybe we could replace Amrabat with Hannibal,
Yeah.
and let Kobe take over the defensive role in the second half. And let's see some rotation. Let's see Maguire and Lindelof, or Maguire
Oh,
and
hell no. I
Evans
don't think
in the
Lindelof is
centre
going to
backs.
start. It sounds, because there was a question there regarding the Swedish shooting. Like, we all seen the video on Twitter. It's disgusting. You condemn two innocent, or was it three, right?
Could
Was it
be.
three?
It's three. I think it's three innocent people that
God, that is
got hurt.
so shocking, right?
Yeah.
There was in a hotel or close to the stadium in a way. But imagine you going down there for watch a game, and somebody just walks in with a shotgun and just blasts you, right? That's not nice, right? And of course, they
Mhm.
stopped the game in the halftime, and being a Swede, myself as well, like, you can understand that. Okay, we are on a target list because why? Because of the. Do you know why they are targeting the Swedes?
No, I'm not too sure.
Okay, because there's been, like, the government's been kind of lenient. They've been practicing the freedom of speech, allowing people to protest by burning the Quran, right? And that is a big no. That's a big haram. You don't do that. So they pissed off the whole Islamic world by just allowing people to go in and burn Quran in the public, and film it and demonstrate, right? You don't do that. No, it's just like me taking a flag, or pissing on your doorstep, or you know what I mean. You just don't do that. It's disrespectful. So that's why there was a retaliation. It's just randomly, like, he said it, like, yeah. But still, just tragic. And yeah, he said Victor didn't sleep. He was shocked, of course, like, this traumatic event, even if it was far away, but you still feel for your countrymen what happened, like, still compassion, right? Better questions would be asked by us fans. We care about the club. Press on.
Exactly.
Yeah, big
You
up
know,
Stephanie.
I also think that as a journalist, right, if you're really looking for a story, in my opinion, right,
Yeah.
why don't you ask a question like, what do you think the fans are gonna do about the rumors of the result of the takeover? Do you think fans are gonna support that? Let Eric Ten Hag say no comment to something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, if you guys didn't notice, we stopped doing the takeover content. Like, we didn't do anything about this morning because we don't want to clickbait you whatsoever. Hello, Dark Crow. How are you doing? we are playing football, and that's what we're here for. The takeover news, I'm not going to talk about it today. It's not even worth mentioning because it's been, you know who they are. And they were sitting there today as well, asking the same crap questions. I call them stenographers or propaganda. Paid stenographers. Jonathan Borg, big up, mate. They're not mentally weak. They're just crumble shite people. If they lose a game and they lose the wage for that week, you really think they will crumble this muck? Yeah, I mean, we should implement some wage structure, a cap, that you're hungry to play. The problem is the past management or establishment that gave away those silly contracts without even understanding. When
Exactly.
it's back,
Exactly.
they treated players as a commodity, right? Because commodities increase the value of the club, equal, higher value salary valuation for the club as well. So yeah, that's why they are giving the high salaries. At the end of the day, our squad is worth about 950 million pounds, 60 something in total, and that is including salaries and everything else. So that needs to come down. I don't know, Mark, but I think you need to cut the ties and just offer them maximum 200, a base or something like that, and put some clause like performance index KPIs, that if you achieve this target, you have to fight. You got to be hungry, like a sales manager, right? Salesperson. You get your commission there.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
think it should be more based on performance. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to stop these players from earning the best possible salaries they can. I would love that for them.
yeah,
You know what I
true,
mean? But at
true.
the same time, if we're gonna give you, we are practically giving the Man United squad elite level salaries. Each and every one of them are
Oh,
getting
they've been giving
elite
CEO salaries, mate.
elite level
Elite.
salaries, right? There are players on other teams that are outperforming them consistently that don't get paid even a percentage of what they make
Yeah,
a week. You know
I
what I
see
mean?
the
Like think about Matoma and Rashford. Matoma makes 10K a week.
guys.
Rashford is 375K.
Yeah, I mean that's insane money, guys. I would be there for free actually, just to be in the locker room. To be
Me too.
honest.
I mean, but I can't play for United. So like if you guys have the opportunity, that's one thing. You get to that level. You
Yeah,
could actually
true.
say, I'm playing for the biggest club in England, historically or otherwise, right?
Mm.
And then you get paid enormous wages to do so, and then you come out and you're like,
But isn't that the problem? If you think about it, Mark, is that the problem? I made it to the top, right? I made it to the club, and I got my big fat salary increase, right? I'm sitting here. I signed a contract for 5 years. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't fire me because I'm on the contract. If you fire me, you got to pay me out. So, do you see the catch-22 situation?
exactly.
That's where the complacency come in place. So that's why I don't believe to give players a new contract. Contract negotiation, because as soon as they get a new contract, they drop down in performance, right?
Here's a question, right? This is just off the bar, right? Don't players want to be the best in the world anymore? Don't they want the bragging rights like we beat
Good
this team?
question.
Don't you want to be the best for yourself? What's the point of you playing football just to get a contract, or you're playing football because you want to actually be one of the best footballers in the world? Like back in the day when I was growing up, players like Francesco Totti, Zidane, all these guys were competing to be the best. Who's the
Yeah,
best of the best? You know what I mean? And
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo, look at Cristiano Ronaldo, for example. Everyone is caught up in the fact he's one of the most famous football faces in the world right now. But could anyone remember how much stick he got in his first season at United? Oh, he dribbles too much. He doesn't listen. He doesn't pass enough. You know, has anyone ever seen how Roy Keane spoke to Ronaldo on the field during play?
Hmm.
He got roughed up, and if you're looking at the TV, you can tell Roy Keane is like, yo, you play shite. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah,
need to do better. And what did Ronaldo do? Did he go
yeah,
out and cry and act like, oh, mental health? I'm
yeah,
not trying to belittle it or anything, but Ronaldo stuck to his guns,
yeah.
tucked down, worked harder, and came back stronger.
For the VR, people are asking where's Bella. Bella is on day off today, so it's only me and Mark today. So no Bella today. Liquor in the front, poker in the back. No, 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 no. We want Bella back. She's got the day off too, and bestie. Who's Bella Hadid? Huh? You wish, you wish. Listen, yeah, I mean, it's so fantastically spot on what you're saying there. Regarding salaries and everything else, and um, I mean, my point was to say, like, why would you give them a raise? Like, are they deserving a raise? And to answer your question, there, I think football has changed. People don't care who they're playing for anymore. They don't play for glory. They're paying for the paycheck. That's the way football has changed, because they're throwing away this ridiculous amount of money at players. Like, if you go to Real Madrid and Barcelona, if you uncover their books, they're even getting more than us. Some people have 500, 600, 700, because they closed the book. They're not a publicly listed company, right? So
Yeah,
these
but
guys, I mean, they are billionaires playing football or millionaires playing football. Plus, they get a lot of sponsorship deals on the side. They have the image brand, so they're more playing for themselves, to be honest, like their own image, social media image as well, right? And that's a little bit sad about modern football today, right? On the other hand, when you saw Sofian Amrabat, his old tradition, he had this interview, like, I think it was Melissa Redding asked him a question, like, how would you describe your playing style? And he said basically, well, I don't like to talk about myself. Like, I like to show it on the pitch, right? And she's like, what do you do when you're not training, when you're not playing football? He said, honest to God, my career is short. Football is a way of life. Ten Hag taught me this, I make sure I eat well, I train well, I apply myself well in training, I have a good recovery, and that's spot on. Like, that is a professional footballer, right? You got to realize your career is short, right? And at any given Sunday, you can break your knee, your career can be over. So I get that, like, you want money. So I think that what we done with Garnacho and stuff like that, we didn't give him a massive raise, right? We gave him a little bit more, like, 50s, 50, 60, right? Because you've seen what happens if you start throwing silly money on young players, right? Look at Jadon Sancho, for instance, 350K a week, right? Just totally, like, you're taking the piss now. Like, I don't care. I'm still getting this money, weekly salary, whatever. You become a little bit complacent. I think that's human psychology, ain't they?
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, like, I understand, they want to get that money and whatever. And even if they have a social media, right? Your following is bigger if you're a star. If you're scoring mad crazy goals, playing mad crazy games, winning titles, you're going to have more following.
Yeah, man.
So in a way, in my opinion, it's basically a moot point. Like, none of these players could tell me that they're worth their spades. They're basically fake. Because if you're so good, you have to prove it every day on the field, not just for yourself, but for fans. Like, why are fans buying your shirt? Why are fans wearing your kit? Why are fans chanting in the grounds? Why is Man United sold out every
Yeah,
game?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, so, like, at the end of the day, I hear people talking about Ten Hag, blame the manager, blame the board. But it's high time we blame these players, man. Like,
Of
we
course.
can't be excusing these players for not being able to do the basics on the field. No matter
I
if
mean, this is the trick where they fool everyone on training to make sure they get selected. They work that hard, That's why we see Scott McTominay, everyone doing like a Pirlo, like in training. But as soon as you get into the match squad, you're letting the manager down because you're not listening to what the rules and instructions are. That is my only analysis. You get picked per your performance in training. So therefore, I said, like, okay, Ten Hag, look who's performing and who's listening to your instructions, because he always comes out, yeah, it was a good performance, but however, they didn't follow my rules and principles, right? Either you're dumb or you don't care, right? If I give you
exactly.
instructions like, Mark, do this thumbnail, do this, do that, you say, yes, boss, right? I do that, right? No worries, because you want to have good experience, you want people to enjoy the show and stuff like that, right? But
Hmm.
if you totally go vogue, like, not listening, so what's the point, right? Then you're not playing for the team. I just believe that, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I was expecting more footballing questions. It's hard for us now to sit and predict who's going to start, who's not going to start. Will it be Mason Mount, Bruno on the right? Will it be, I don't know, man. Anthony Dos Santos will probably start on the right wing, Bruno in the middle, maybe Christian Eriksen. I don't know. Casemiro,
It's
is he
just
still injured? He's not injured. I don't know. I don't think he will
Casemiro's in
start.
Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I spoke about that this morning. Casemiro's in Brazil. He's not back. So it's a good thing. And I think it's good because he's gonna get a couple days off to be rested, come back, with his mind clear, no injuries. It'll be a good thing for us. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
of
think
course.
we're ever gonna see Bruno on the right wing again. I think he's reached the end of that road. To be honest, like we're gonna see Anthony, and if not, we're probably gonna see Palestri.
Yeah,
I
true that, true that.
be I'd be interested if he was to deploy Mason Mount there because that's where he was most effective for Chelsea. Like, it's money. People say money Mount, but at the same time, I don't want to hear about that. He's wearing the number 7, so he has to be the amazing Mason Mount.
Yeah,
Because if he's not the amazing Mason Mount by the end of the season, I'm going to be the first one to champion get him out of the club.
yeah.
'Cause-
Mark Davis just came in here and said, "Hi guys, what happened to the press conference today? I missed it." David Porter saying, "Money can buy you love, can buy you love." It's very true. People that came in late, it was a very short press conference where we summarized the first two stenographers. They were like Mark Ogden and Simon Stone asked about the takeover, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, which is totally ridiculous as your manager. So I don't know anything, and this is footballing. Like, he looked at him like he was a dick. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The other one asked about Jadon Sancho, which is absolutely crap. The only ones that then Melissa Redding asked about mental state of Onana and how can he do to improve. That was a very good question. She also touched base on Maguire. I think she was given this section to cover mental health.
hmm
And then I don't know who he was, but he asked very good question regarding, a little bit about Sheffield United and Ten Hag gives like, no, we're not underestimating. Every team is a dangerous team in the Prem, and we are fully prepared and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Um, Somebody asked about Victor Lindelof regarding the shooting in Sweden. Valid point as well. And the biggest question today, I think it was by this Irish lady that asked about Bruno and Mason Mount, like, to swap them a little bit, like,
Yeah.
um,
Like I like to hear those kind of creative questions because it also answers the fans' questions as well. Because it's like, you would think these journalists do research, not just research on the team, but research on the fan base. Because at the same time, I mean, if you're trying to sell us a story, at
mm,
least give us information on the questions we have.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Don't waste the time. Like asking about Maguire is one thing, but at the same time, it's pretty pointless because you're talking about him being booed for England. He's not been booed for Manchester United this season,
but he
right?
wasn't booed was it booed now for the internationals as well?
Yeah, he was booed at the internationals, and I
Oh,
think that
really?
was like a week ago. It wasn't this one this time. I think it was before, but at the
But
same
not
time,
now, not in recent events, right?
exactly. So, in my opinion, it's like, why are you bringing this energy into the team? Let's just ask a question about football.
Yeah, but the
Ask
thing
the
is, it's popular to ask those questions, right? Because that sells you a lot of clicks at the end of the day. If you speak about Sancho and Maguire, that's trending, right? But that gravy train has passed. Nobody's interested about to hear that anymore, right? Mark Davis is saying, I have heard that Jim Ratcliffe is not happy with the Ten Hag over transfer window. This is what they're leaking out. That
yeah,
we know
but
who they are. They're
mhm.
sitting there, right? Some of them rats are sitting there.
Yeah, but they're actually focusing on how much he spent, not the players actually, but what he spent to get the players.
Ask
And
Spurs how much they spend. Ask everyone else how much they spend. Stop looking at a club. That's the thing.
exactly,
It's
and
Manchester
another
United.
thing I would say, if he's mad at Ten Hag's spend, then he needs to fire Joel Glazer
Yeah,
because Joel Glazer approved the spend, and he approved the spend late. Why doesn't he talk about maybe I should fire the negotiating staff at
yeah,
Manchester United because Anthony in May was 55 million.
yeah. Kenneth Hogan
In
is saying,
May,
yeah, yeah. We're gonna
go
wrap
ahead.
up the stream, guys. We just came here to cover this. Kenneth is saying, Sir Rat, Manchester-born, raised in Yorkshire, and ended up as a Chelsea fan. How's that possible?
Facts. You know what I
Facts.
mean? Like the one thing I don't understand about this guy is that he tried to buy Barcelona, they rejected him, and they were broke. He tried to buy Chelsea, they
For almost four
rejected him
million.
for
Uh,
almost 4 billion. I
and now
mean,
he's saying he's broke. He cannot buy even
where
what
he get the 4 billion to buy Chelsea,
51%.
man?
Where's he got?
Where he get the 4 billion to buy
Exactly,
Chelsea?
exactly. And now he's saying like 25%. It's cheap
Yeah,
ass.
I'm a
I don't know.
Manchester United fan. from childhood, you know. But I can't even bring the same offer I bring for Chelsea, for Manchester United. No, but I'm a fan. I
But
don't
I
have
will,
a Manchester United season ticket. I have a Chelsea one though.
but I will
Mm.
give you 1.44 billion without even having control of Sporting. And what media is putting there that Joel's going to be there as a Sporting. It's just a lot of BS. Right? It's just too much this week. Let's not talk about the takeover stuff. I promise not to talk because we have a game to play tomorrow, people. Listen, everyone that's been tuning in, for us, we are, 100% takeover on take it or leave it. That's it. Yeah. Because if Red comes in on 25%, it's going to be worse. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And to put,
What's
you might as well get on your bike and get over it because they're going to put this biking specialist, that doesn't know shit about football, right? Anyway, guys, 50 minutes and 45. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video as well. We've been here trying to gas it up with you guys. Thank you for watching. And I would say that we are be back tonight later on because we have the quiz show tonight. A little bit of a Friday TGIF. Just forget about what's going on over the week and just join with Football Power Hour Poppy's quiz show, right? There's going to be some dodgy VAR decisions in there as well. I believe there's going to be some paper bag envelopes flying around, some bribery. We will see who's going to be the reigning champion, but tune into that show later on tonight. If it happens, it happens. I've been shafted 3 times there in a row. Mark knows.
Yeah, guys. That's why Poppy called me. He says, you know what? I need a guy to come in and call everything down the middle, you know? And also to be sure that Mick doesn't have Bella assisting in the background.
Oh, no, she's off today. She's off today. Listen, anyway, 25 likes. We don't care about the likes today. We just wanted to come in and bring the bearers of the news. It's been Mick Review here and Mark again for the second time today. If you missed his morning show, go check it out. He did a little bit of a 1-hour show. He was supposed to do 30 minutes, but he couldn't help himself. So, Mark, big up to you, mate.
Yeah, well, it's always interesting when the guys join me in the VR room. It's always great to have them. And they've had a lot of questions this morning and they were talking about how they felt about things. So, it's only fair that I answer their questions and interact with them because they always take the time to enjoy our streams. And thank you for that, guys.
You're welcome.
And thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing our free because we have just received what do you said, make 300 new subscribers this week?
Oh, almost.
And I know we're going to reach more next.
This week has been mad day. It's like mad week. From 17,000 subscribers to 17,389 at the moment. So we are on the road to 18,000 and hopefully we can reach by 20 by the end of the year. I don't have any expectations. We are a growing community, been in the making for 1 year. A real community with positive interaction. You can join our Telegram group as well, members chat, everything. You can donate, buy us a coffee if you like the content. There's a lot of things that you can do. You can become a member as well. Yeah. Hopefully you enjoy this show, and tomorrow we are back as well, covering the football. We were supposed to do a watch along, but Poppy cannot make it, so we do the traditional warm up, gas up, the original warm up before the kickoff, and then we do the post match reaction show with Jay Daly as well. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Mark, thank you for coming in and supporting us. Thank you everyone that came in raw for listening to the Ten Hags press conference. We got some piece of information, but not really the injury list, what I wanted to hear. Be beautiful to each other this Friday, Mark. No Bella, so you have to act Bella.
Yeah, we're going to have no Bella tonight. So, thank you everyone for joining us at MUFC Realist TV. It's been Mick, Ruby, and myself, Mark MUFC fan. And thank you. Enjoy your day. And
glory, Manchester United. Glazes out, no bankers in, no rat. Green goal until we are full announced and sold. Ciao. Bye. Peace.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.